Okay, like what am I supposed to say? I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Just say whatever.
Anything. Okay. So, 2023. It's over. I'm kind of glad about that. So, say cheers to it being gone. So, of course, this is the end. This is the end of 2023 video. Many people do these. Figured I would do it a lot different. So, we're going to start with nothing. There's nothing on here. I'm a shoot from the hip kind of guy. I was going to play it off like I was being interviewed. Or even write it down. Wasn't prepared. That's how 2023 went. We were not prepared. Nobody's prepared for 2023, were they? But what did we learn? What did we learn from 2023? Well, we'll start. I feel like we kind of learned a lot of the same things about planning. You know, having a plan, right? Well, we didn't really come into this with a plan, did we? We kind of had an understanding of what we wanted to accomplish, but then we still were just kind of going at blind. So going into 2024, I definitely have a plan. Okay, working on actually writing down and planning out our year for the homestead and what we're wanting to do. I feel like we have a good concept of what we're looking at because of the things that happened this year, 2023. Now, what happened this year? Well, we'll start with one of the most difficult issues that we had, and that's the pig. If you followed us, you know that Purdy the pig, she went down for a little while, and we didn't know what was the deal, didn't know what was going on. So we spent a lot of time just kind of troubleshooting her and figuring out what was going on and getting her fixed, so that we could potentially use her for meat, because that's why we got her. Is for meat, and so we spent months. I think it was like 2 months trying to figure out what was going on with her. We did kind of find out that it could potentially be the fact that she might have gotten a hold of some China berries, and so we did clear out a spot like the China berry tree that's over her. We cleared that out, but one of the things is like, now what do we do with her? Okay, we spent a lot of time getting her back up. Me personally, I was kind of torn with what the decision would be on her. Chastity, she was more adamant about the fact that she did not want to use her for meat anymore because, I mean, we bottle fed her. We watered her with a bottle, and we hand fed her. We spent a lot of time with her, and but the choice has been made on my end that we are going to butcher her next year. It'll probably be when it's cold. Our friends over at Big Bear Homestead, they're going to do a pig butchering on their pigs, and I'm hoping I can get down there and learn from them. I have been to one class before, but they scalded the pig, and we're actually going to skin Purdy because I don't have the setup and stuff to scald her. That's my plan. Okay, we all know how plans go on the homestead. I'm going to refresh your memory on that right now.
Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
Okay, so you understand. Just having a plan, setting a plan forth is better than having no plan at all. Okay, and I've learned that this year because like I said, I knew what we wanted to do, but we had no plan on how to do it. And other things popped up that like I wasn't planning on doing, but now it's kind of a part of it. The plan going on with the pig, I am going to be putting electric fencing or electric wiring down in our wooded pasture that we have next to the house. Okay, that's because there's no China berries down there. It's all pine, and when we get more pigs to raise, I want to move them in that 1 acre paddock, and rotate them and stuff, and build that paddock up down there, and have them be forest raised pigs. So that's plan 2 with pigs. So first plan is to process Purdy, and then we will be working on putting electric wiring down in the wooded pasture, so that when we get more pigs, that's where they'll be. Okay. Second plan, I don't plan on doing an extensive garden in 2024. I've learned that I'm not as much of a gardener as I am an animal grower. Okay, I enjoy animals more than gardening. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to grow some stuff. Okay, I will grow potatoes. I do still enjoy canning. I want to put some stuff up, but I'm going to be a lot more specific on the things that I'm growing. I am still going to grow some different varieties just because they seem cool, but it's going to be more on. In 2023, I grew a lot more San Marzano tomatoes, but I didn't take care of them like I should have, and I had a lot of pest damage. And I didn't preserve any, and so that was difficult. This year, 2024, I plan on preserving a good bit of our tomatoes. It will not be as sauces or salsas. What I do now is we get canned San Marzano tomatoes, and I make my own sauce when we're going to use it. We do enjoy salsa, so I will consider growing some other varieties to make salsa, and possibly can it, but it's not. That part is not necessarily as important as canning just the plain San Marzano, tomatoes. Now, I do want to grow, and this kind of goes into another piece of our plan. I'm going to do longer rows when it comes to some of the other stuff that we grow, because I want to be able to possibly sell it. So like squash, zucchini, which is a squash, so that variety of stuff. I've got onions growing in my green stock right now, but later on I will do a long row of onions and garlics and stuff like that. I do want to focus a lot more on our herbs, because I do want to dry herbs out and preserve them, save them, and stuff like that, because I enjoy cooking with all sorts of stuff. Now, other than that, it's probably not going to be much more. Maybe some cucumbers. I'm not 100% sure on what the garden situation is going to be. I just know it's not going to be something where you're going to be watching garden tours, or unless it's just something really quick where I'm showing you what it looks like and what I am growing, in which I will do that. But other than that, I don't expect any kind of crazy varieties of stuff. I'm going to focus more on the animal side, which brings me into that plan. At the end of 2023, the last batch of meat birds that we raised, I was able to get certified to sell my poultry from my property, or how it works in South Carolina, I can sell it from my property to a restaurant or at a farmer's market. So I did get certified to do that. So that is my animal plan. I am planning to build another chicken tractor. I did get permission from my great uncle to allow me to use some of his land, which is where Hunt's right here behind the house, to run said birds on that property, which helps me out tremendously. And of course, I'm going to share some meat with him. But I do have some work to do on figuring out safety for those birds, because they are going to be further away from our house. So when it comes to like predators, I could move Oak out there with them, but that's going to be a transition I have to really kind of figure out first. Before we get there, I am going to test out some different things I have going on with our chicken tractor now, and with like some electric wiring around it, predator proofing it as best as possible, different things like that. So that way, when I move them out there, I'm not as worried about predators taking out, many birds. I'm sure it can happen and probably will happen, and that's just something that we'll be planning for as well. Other than that, that's our big animal production thing going on at the beginning of 2024. I have mentioned before wanting sheep. Chastity was not necessarily on board about it, because she doesn't really like eating lamb or eating sheep meat. She hasn't really eaten much of it. So I'm hoping I can get some recipes and stuff together, cook some stuff for her, and get her more on board with it, because I would like to move sheep on that property as well, and then eventually be able to sell red meat. That entails being USDA approved, USDA approved, and that's a lot harder process. So that is a step that we're going to be making in 2024, to get closer to be able to sell red meat. Now I could build a building or process red meat here, which is one reason why I'm in the shop now, and sell it to an individual. If they bring it to me, I give it right back to them instead of selling it to the public. So there's just different rules, but I want to make sure I do it the right way. That's, like I said, that's one step of the plan. Of course, I need a bigger processing facility for different types of meat if I'm going to move up. That is a recent dream of mine to be able to do. I just feel like the Lord's been speaking to me really about processing meat and being the meat guy in my community. And I first said that I didn't want to, but whatever He wants is kind of what's going to happen. The more I've done it, the better I've gotten at it, and the more I enjoy it. And I would like to be able to process for other people and stuff, but I also would like to learn business and hire people on to butcher and things as well. So that's a long-term plan that I have for my family and I, but the first steps are going to happen next year, 2024. And so I know it's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, really, it's just maintaining the homestead, continuing to do videos. I do have something else in the works that I'm not going to speak about on this video, because I don't necessarily want it. I don't want it associated. I just don't want. I want it to be found and done correctly, and when the time is right, you all will know about it. I will tell you that it has to do with, what I just talked about when it comes to processing meat, stuff like that. But just know that in 2024, this channel, Willowbrook Homestead, is going to be a little bit different. Okay, it's still going to be just like vlogging when I want to, but it's going to be just vlogs, just us living on our homestead and doing homestead stuff. Now, that being said, there's other pieces of homesteading that might be somewhere else. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna go any further with it because I don't want to give it away. I'm still working on the details and everything with that. Also, I tried a lot of things this year. I don't like to say fail, and you know that if you've been with me for a while, but I tried a lot of things this year that I didn't do as well at. I feel like I kind of bit off more than I could chew, and maybe I just got a little overambitious, and one thing being merchandise. I greatly appreciate everyone who has purchased shirts from my website, and I hope you enjoy them. I'm very grateful. But in 2024, I have shut down the Willowbrook Homestead website for the time being until I grow more of an audience and grow more of a community that is willing to support me in that way. I feel like I've had great ideas, especially this one. This is probably one of my most favorite ones. But it's just not the right time. It's even with my Recipes for Success journal. It's just not the right time for me to push stuff like that, you know. And I had a conversation with Jess about some of the stuff that I'm talking about now, and she's been a great. Her and Jeremiah have been just absolutely wonderful for me and my family. We're great friends. I absolutely love them to death, and they've helped me out tremendously, being great mentors and everything. And she has assured me that like when I said the Lord's been pushing me to be the meat guy. This shirts and the journal and things like that have been more of my own doing or my own ideas. I'm feeling called to do the meat. I'm not feeling called to sell merchandise. It's just something that I wanted to do because I enjoy it. I enjoy creating different things. But it's time that I focus on the stuff that I feel like God is pulling me towards, and that is the meat and processing and stuff for my family. Now, like I said, it's just not the right time for the shirts and merchandise and some of that. It will be the right time eventually. I know it, but I have dreams and stuff to build, and I'm tired of working a job where I'm building somebody else's dream. I'm ready to turn what I'm doing here into our life and do it full time. So we're moving towards it in 2024. It's going to be a great year. I already know it. It's going to be a different year. It's going to be different. You're going to see a different side of me. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be funny me. But it's just going to be different. And I'm excited for it. That's really all the plans that we have, other than, just personal plans and personal growth, working out, eating better, stuff like that. We do want, our kids are getting bigger. We're needing more room in the house, so we do have plans to hopefully turn our garage into a master bedroom, and then, of course, build a garage off of it and stuff. So we have a lot of those personal plans, but when it comes to the channel, I greatly appreciate everybody who has watched me, followed me, subscribed, encouraging words. I absolutely love it. It's been a big help for me in many ways that y'all want to understand. Maybe one day I'll be on Abundance Plus with my own little series like Wild or Still or Rude, telling my story and how everybody helped me. If not, you know what? We'll get to the point. I'll just do my own, and I'll tell you then. But just know that I really do appreciate every single one of you for everything. It's been a crazy year, but it's been a good year. It's been a different year, and that's what we're all about here. Just being different, doing some crazy stuff, and yeah. So thank you all, and I feel like I'm excited. I'm excited for next year. I'm excited to bring you along on the journey. Hope you're excited too. Stick around, and I'll see you next year.